Hey guys, Mike Young with Noble Warriors. Time for Manhood in the Media. Got an article today for you from the Institute for Family Studies. Title of it is called Can't Buy Me Love, Materialism in Marriage. And while the author, Jason Carroll, doesn't specifically mention men a lot here, guys, I think this is an area where manhood just is oozing all over this. So this whole article is about a study that this particular author did looking at the trends of materialism among high school age teens over the last 50 years. And so what he found two major things: that materialism is surging among teenagers in our culture, and that materialism is now equally shared in terms of a life ambition for high school boys and girls. So what on earth does this have to do with men? Well, I could go into a lot of details here. Evans will give you a link to the article so you can look it up yourself. But here's the bottom line. What we're seeing is that our young people are becoming more focused on stuff than anything else. They're concerned, their identity is caught up in what they have, not who they are or whose they are, or any of those things about their person. It's their stuff. That's what materialism is. It's a focus on stuff. So here's part of what comes out of this. He says, for many in the rising generation, materialism may be emerging as the defining value of their lives. That's pretty sad. If the most important thing about me is my stuff, then that's a pretty shallow existence. But you look around and you don't have to look hard or far to see that people are identified by their vehicles, their clothes, their homes. I mean, this is not just high schoolers. We're talking about adults who they just kind of live in their stuff, their boat, their second home, their job. And so it's so much about the stuff. But here's what these people are looking at is the impact that this is having on marriage. Because so many young people are saying that I can't get married because I am not financially secure. I don't have what I need in order to be married. And so there are all kinds of pieces and things that he talks about here. But one of the ideas is that so many young people are delaying marriage until they hit certain financial goals. And there's certain financial goals for sure that you would want your son or daughter or you personally to reach as you consider marriage. Certainly some financial independence from parents and others. But many are talking about they don't want to get married until they have a house, until they've got a certain type of car, until they've achieved certain financial goals. Well, part of what's interesting here is that young people tend to do better when they build a life together, not when they build life separately and then try to figure out how to merge it. As a matter of fact, that doesn't always go well. And so I think where does manhood fit into this? Well, here's where I think I see manhood. No, I don't think. I know I see manhood here in the idea that we as guys need to learn to practice contentment. We need to be satisfied with what we have and not always looking for the next big thing or depending on, when can I buy another gun or fishing rod or boat or what, not continually adding more. I mean, you remember the rich young ruler who was going to tear down his barns and build bigger barns because he had so much. And so there's just so many parallels and passages and parables in the Word about money and the love of money that we have to really be careful. So men, you need to practice contentment. You need to also learn to manage your money well. You need to be a good steward of what you had. I just heard a radio broadcast this morning about people who were upside down on their car loans. They keep extending car loans and they have negative equity in car loans. Guys, don't get yourself in a place like that. You have to practice contentment. And I would also say this, learn some skills about what it means to be thrifty. Man, learn to change your own oil, cut your own grass, make your coffee at home. How about that? Learn to save some money and not get caught up in materialism. And then if you're a husband, if you're a father, if you have the responsibility for others, then practice contentment in your home. Don't be always looking for the next thing, but be satisfied and teach your family to be satisfied. Model satisfaction with what the Lord has provided for you. And then there are a couple of other things that I would say in our own family. Man, it made a huge difference in our kids' lives when we went on international missions projects and saw what real poverty looked like. And so it all of a sudden gives you an appreciation for what we have in our time and our place. So find a mission that you can do that would serve others who are less fortunate. And then I would also practice generosity. Guys, the real cure for our materialism is generosity. And so if you hold on to money and things too tightly, the best thing to do is to learn to hold it loosely and give it away so that others can be blessed. Practice generosity and do that in a way that honors the Lord. So don't get caught up on your stuff. Learn to be satisfied. And so I'll just give you one verse here, actually a little passage, couple of things. Paul says to the Philippians, "For I've learned in whatever situation I'm in to be content. I know how to be brought low. I know how to abound in any circumstance. I've learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need." And then we get to the verse that everyone knows, "I can do all things through him who strengthens me." That's Philippians 4:13. But essentially Paul's saying that I can be content with what I have. God has given me enough for my needs. He's going to meet my needs. He's going to care for me. And so this striving for more stuff is never going to be a satisfying way to do life, guys. So practice that for yourself personally and begin to model that for your family. And I think you will find that you will pass on less materialistic intentions and perspectives on your children because you're modeling it personally at home. So that's where I see manhood in the media this week, guys. God bless you.